We need to check and put on this string actually a nocking point. That's important to make sure that the arrow is knocked onto the string in the same place every time. Otherwise the elevation of the arrow is going to be different. If the nocking point is too low, you may find that the arrow skips up off your hand and ends up scratching the top of your hand. So if you've had that happen, chances are the nocking point is too low. Bracing height gauge along the top has some inches or eighths of an inches marked on them. I've put a little bit of tape again on the point I want to put the nocking point, which is generally 1/4 of an inch above a right angle measured from the top of the bow handle. So we slide that along so the gauge is just at the top of the handle, and then we will start our nocking point position 1/4 of an inch up from that. I'll mark the nocking point with dental floss. Pull off a length and then put it onto the string so that we're doing the nocking point below the arrow. So hold it there and then wind it to actually hold it in place, and then wind around the bowstring with the dental floss, going down the string about that much, about 1/4 of an inch, and then go back up again. So we're building up 2 or 3 layers of dental floss. That should be sufficient. And then, like the end of a serving, I'm going to finish it off by turning it under about 6 times. Pull that back up there and then wind it off on top of the dental floss you've already put on, and then pull through, and that pulls tight. Pair of scissors, cut off what you don't want, and that's that one done. The top one, put the arrow on, that gives you the position of the top. Again, another length dental floss, and this time we'll wind up the string away from the knock. So just start it, and then we can remove the arrow and carry on up again for about 1/4 of an inch, and then back down, and then finish off like we did the other one. And that's the nocking point done. So that's in the correct position, bracing height is correct, so string is fine. Next thing is to just check the fit of the arrow knock onto the string. If we take our arrow, it will fit on there obviously. The correct fit should be if we just tap the string, the arrow will fall off. It doesn't, so it's too tight. So we've got to adjust the plastic knock of the arrow to fit the string. The easiest way to adjust the fit of the knock onto the string is to warm the knock up in some very hot water. So a cup of boiling or just off boiling water, dip the knock in for a few seconds to soften the plastic, and then with the end of a spoon, or in this case the bracing height gauge, we should be able to just open the knock up a little bit so the plastic will be much softer. Carefully open it up, and then we'll see if it fits better onto the string.
Perfect.